Buenos dias and welcome back to another video. This will be our fourth video, or fifth if you include the weird AI robot video I made last year. I was bored, I guess. So, we're up to 2 subscribers now. Thanks for the encouragement, whoever and wherever you are. These videos may be kind of clunky, but we're really just getting started. Anyway, hope you're all having or have had a great dawn, dusk, and everything in between. I'm just sat here with a coffee. It's definitely past my caffeine window here in the UK, but what is a life, if not a life lived on the edge? We've got Fiat Leak here showing us who's gobbling up all the XRP, and it's come up a bit since I last checked actually, $2.25, and look, we can see US over here. Oh my goodness, that's embarrassing, my geography. Europe, no, I need to get this now. I'm just under pressure because I'm on a video. I've got Japan, Korea, South Korea, of course it is. Europe, South Korea, and the USA. I really hope this is South Korea, otherwise I'm gonna feel stupid when I check later. It is. Anyway, I wasn't planning on that. So, today we're going to be covering some key terms you need to learn if you want to start to gain an understanding of the new financial system. If you manage to sit through all of this, pat yourself on the back. You'll hopefully have learned something new. Let's get into it. Term number 1, DLT, Distributed Ledger Technology. So imagine a digital notebook shared across many computers where everyone sees the same record of payments or data and no single bank or company controls it. That's a DLT. That's a distributed ledger tech. Instead of a bank tracking your money, computers worldwide agree on every deal, like sending cash with Ripple's XRPL, that's the ledger, or tracking goods with Hedera's hashgraph, or payments as well, to be fair. No middleman means faster, cheaper deals, and it's hard to hack since everyone's copy matches. And as we've talked about before, Quant's Overledger links all these together and to regular bank payments. So for the XRP ledger and Hedera, we use something called permissioned DLTs. So on the XRPL, nodes, or otherwise known as validators, are run by trusted entities like Ripple, universities, or banks. So Santander or Bank of America, for example, who we know have already partnered up with Ripple. So there are approximately 150 validators or nodes at the moment, mostly in corporate data centers in your big cities, so San Francisco, London, pretty much global. And then moving to Hedera Hashgraph, they've got approximately 26 nodes at the moment, and they were initially run, or are run at the moment, by members of the Hedera Governing Council. And if you remember from the Hedera video, that's your people like Google and IBM. And again, your big cities like Frankfurt, London, Singapore, San Francisco. And these are strategically chosen for speed and security. So why does this matter? Why does the DLT matter? So it cuts cost, which is obviously huge in payments. So you pay a fraction of a penny with an XRP on the XRP ledger instead of, $20 perhaps for a bank transfer. And they're much faster. Payments are sped up as well on the DLT. So this means reducing payments that take days to literal seconds, 3 to 5 seconds, maybe less. And of course, it makes fraud tougher. So term number 2, the BFT, Byzantine or Byzantine fault tolerance. So firstly, hands up if you've never heard of the term Byzantine before. I only have because I spend too much time listening to history podcasts. So we're going to do a little bit of etymology, meaning the study of where words come from. So the term Byzantine refers to something complex, intricate or devious, often tied to systems or processes with many layers or hidden motives. Its etymology comes from the Byzantine Empire. This was the Eastern Roman Empire centered in Constantinople, which is for now Istanbul, from 330 to 1453 AD. Really, in technical terms, this was just the Roman Empire still. The term Byzantine is a relatively recent invention, only truly being coined about 100 years after the city of Constantinople fell by a German historian. And that doesn't really even take into account... apologies, I've set myself off here on a history rabbit hole. There are enough rabbit holes in 2025 without going back in time 500 years. So maybe for another video. Back to it. The word derives from Byzantium, the ancient Greek city on which Constantinople was built. In the 19th century, historians used Byzantine to describe the empire's elaborate bureaucracy, intricate politics, and secretive court intrigues, which seemed very convoluted compared to Western systems, or advanced, you could say. This negative connotation stuck, so it was a bit of a pejorative, and today Byzantine describes anything overly complicated, bringing us to the Byzantine fault tolerance in DLTs, which handles complex failures. So in our modern day context, it refers to a group of computers running a payment system, but some might crash or even try to cheat. BFT is how they still agree on what's true, like ensuring a payment goes through. Hashgraph uses a super strong version called ABFT, keeping things safe even if a third of the computers act up. Ripple's XRPL uses a simpler BFT to confirm deals fast. It's a bit like a team voting honestly despite a few liars. So why does this matter? BFT makes digital money and records reliable, so your bank transfer or online purchase or data exchange doesn't fail even during hacks or outages. It builds trust. Term number 3. Consensus mechanism. A consensus mechanism is how a digital ledger gets all of its computers to agree on a deal, like confirming who sent you money. Bitcoin's proof of work makes computers solve puzzles, which is slow and uses tons of power. Ethereum's proof of stake is a little bit faster, picking computers based on their coins, but still not really speedy. Hashgraph uses a quick, secure voting system handling 10,000 deals a second. Ripple's XRP ledgers has validators agree in seconds too. I haven't actually put in my notes how many. I think it's 1500 a second. So why does this matter? Consensus keeps your payment records accurate, so you don't lose cash in a glitch. Fast ones like Hedera or XRP save time and money. So, term number 4, interoperability. Interoperability. I hear this term all the time. Interoperability, butchering that, the word we're talking about is when different digital ledgers or bank systems work together, like your phone chatting with any app, Angry Birds or any of those apps. Quant's Overledger links Hedera's Hashgraph, Ripple's XRPL, and old school bank networks, along with a vast host of others. So a payment on XRP can update a record on Hedera. Without it, I know I'm just talking XRP and Hedera a lot at the moment, but it's really any financial system or any blockchain. So without it, ledgers are like isolated islands, a bit like Moana 2. It's why banks test XRP for fast transfers or Hedera for tracking, all connected by Overledger. So why does this matter? Interoperability makes your money move smoothly across systems, like paying overseas without delays or high fees. Term number 5, and our final term for this video. You'll know this one if you've been in the space for a little while. Tokenisation, and another one I hear all the time. And without hyperbole, it's truly a groundbreaking concept. Soon, of course, more than just a concept. Big institutions are just waiting for the regulation before they go, quote, all in, to quote one of them. Tokenization turns like real stuff, like money or a house or a car, into digital tokens on a ledger, so you can trade it easily. Ethereum's hashgraph creates tokens for digital IDs or supply chain goods. The XRPL is a token for quick payments, moving cash across borders. And as I've said many times, Quant helps the tokens flow all around, so you can use XRP to settle on Hedera, vice versa. You could turn your car into a digital token you could sell online. So why does this matter? Tokenization makes selling or buying faster and cheaper. No need for slow bank paperwork. You could own part of a stock or a home for less than $100. Processes that take months, like obtaining a mortgage, or weeks or days, like some other lines of credit, may be reduced to seconds. Tokenization is going to be huge. So there are rumblings of Nasdaq tokenizing their stocks as well. In fact, I think that's more than rumblings at the moment. But of course, tokenization is not just for stocks, it's hitting real estate, art, gold. I could do a video on gold-backed currencies and them tokenizing that. Maybe I will. Grain, private funds, bonds and more. It's probable that pretty much everything you can think of will be tokenized at some point. Again, whether that's a good or a bad thing in the long run, time will tell. So some experts predict $16 trillion in tokenized assets by 2030, and I think about $3 billion is already done. BlackRock's digital funds, or HSBC's 24 trillion forecast by 2027. Like we touched on before, you can own a fraction of something like a pricey painting or a house. So why does this matter? You can invest $100 or less in a mansion or art, or maybe like an apartment block, and take a share of the revenue, earning big cash without big bucks up front. And then you save on fees as well with the cheap, fast. This brings me on to getting passive income on your digital assets, which I think we'll have to save for another video. So if you managed to sit through all that, congratulations, and I do appreciate you watching or listening. Remember to go out and do your own research. You never know what you might find. So thanks again, good night, and I'll see you on the other side.